Hello everybody, it's Tidy1 here. In today's video, we are going to do a scary stories reading. I'm going to do three stories on this one. They're different. They're pretty much different stories. Some of them are true, and some of them are kind of like just kind of a thinking process, I guess. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to have another video where I'm doing animation one too. So kind of two videos going on here. Also, I have another horror thing I'm going to do after that. I'm going to go back and doing some more stuff with that anime content. So, thought I'd finish up a little bit with horror content and get back into that and stuff. So, kind of had fun this year doing some horror stuff. So, I thought I'd do another scary stories reading and then an animation one, and then the last thing I'll do with it, I'll let you know what I'll be doing and stuff for that video for that video. So right now we're gonna do this. So here we go. Okay. This first story is called "Would You Like to Come Live in My Basement?" When I was 17 and worked in a retail as a cashier, I had a very old couple came through my line buying a woke the husband. They're missing an E. Woke the husband, who was at least 85, started making conversation with me about the woke and asked if I liked Chinese food. I said, yeah, I like Chinese. Do you want to go out with me to get some Chinese? He winks at me. No, sir. Oh, well, he looks a bit disappointed and turns to look at his wife, who is on the phone with someone. Would you at least like to come home with me and live in my basement? Why would you ask somebody that? No, I said. The rest of the transaction took place in a terrified silence. His wife never said a word. I wonder to this day if he was trying to joke because he sounded so sincere, or if he was suffering from dementia or something else that make him not realize how creepy that sounds to someone young enough to be your great-grandchild. Wow. How would you ask somebody that? I mean, it's possible he could have had dementia and just didn't think about it. Okay, next one. Okay. This next story is called 2 a.m. Okay. Years ago, early 90s, my boyfriend was driving me home and we saw a man lying on the ground in the strangest position, kneeling with his head on the ground and bent at a sharp angle so that he faced the street. It was 2 in the morning and the man was covered in sweat. What the hell? It glitched. Sorry guys. Bent at the shape and angle so that he faced the street. It was 2 in the morning and the man was covered in sweat with his eyes open. He pulled over and I hopped out of the car to check on this guy. His eyes were wide open and he seemed like his face wasn't moving, but it really felt like he was pleading for help. He didn't respond at all when called out to him. No blinking, glassy eyes. I reached out to him and he was he was ice cold. I'm sure he wasn't breathing. This was before cell phones, so I hopped back in the car and we sped back to my house to call 911. 10 minutes later, the police called back to ask for the cross streets again. Apparently, they arrived at the corner and there was nothing there. I verified that they had the right spot, and they said they would call back if they needed any more information. That was the last I ever heard about it. I checked the newspaper for the next few weeks, but we never found out anything else about that man. I wonder what happened to him. Okay, this one is called the 3 a.m. walk. There's a lot of things that happen when you do that at 3 a.m. That's where weird creatures and sometimes things come out at night that you don't really want to see. Okay. I am fairly small for a guy. I stand at around 5'5", and the most I've ever weighed was around 150 pounds. About 6 or 7 years ago, I didn't have my license despite being far old enough to drive, but a good buddy of mine wanted to hang out. He too did not have a way of transport, so we decided to both walk towards one another and meet in the middle. We would both be walking 5 miles. It was 3 a.m. on a cold winter night, and I was wearing a black jacket with my hood up. And 2 miles into my hike along the main road, a car pulled into a parking spot of the home I was passing just a few feet behind me. He wasn't entirely into the driveway, almost halfway hanging out into the road. I half expected it was just a kind of stranger wanting to give me a ride, but I wasn't about to take any rides from anybody. I kept pacing forward and ignored the car behind me, expecting them to roll down the window and shout at me. It didn't happen. The car just sat at the edge of that driveway, running but completely dark inside, to the point that I could only barely make out the figure of a large man. I don't typically get frightened by much, but something in the air made me tense up, and my heart kind of dropped to my stomach. I stopped and turned to look at the car. I had a feeling that person driving was watching me intently. The figure in the car was definitely facing me. I could see the reflection from his dash bouncing off his eyes. I started back. I figured he was about to yell out to me, but he just sat quietly in a strangely menacing way that I have only ever seen scenes in movies play out. I kind of did a wave at the figure, letting him know I saw him, and waited for some type of communication in return. He didn't budge. He just sat there, and I turned pacing away slightly brisker. Okay. After just a few moments, I could hear the car slowly roll in reverse, so I turned to face but kept pacing backwards. The car kept creeping slowly. I pulled down my hood and stood still again, waiting for him to pass me, but instead the man slowed to a stop beside me. The passenger side window rolled down, and the man I met eyes. No words were exchanged at all. And before I could even let out a hello, the man grimaced and accelerated away at a distant pace, almost as if he was disappointed by what he had seen. It doesn't seem like much from it. from how it reads, but I'll never forget how tense that interaction was for me. I've not felt anything like that since. Ooh. Okay. Okay. This is the last one, guys. This one is called Who Was There? I have dogs that bark at anybody. My mother doesn't live with me, nor has a key to my house. About 4 years ago, I'm sitting in my house alone on a day off from work. Both of my dogs hovering around me. One at my feet, one at the doorway leading into the hallway. It's quiet. Um, I'm redditing or doing whatever on the internet. I hear my mother's voice clearly say, "Brian," like she was trying to get my attention from across the house. I just perked my head up a little, stunned, thinking I was hearing things. However, my dogs, as soon as I perked up, so did they. And they started growling really fierce in the direction of the voice with their hair raised. He went to inspect the house, but nothing was there. Why so comical? I don't know. I guess anyway, that's it for today's video. There's only like 3 that I was going to read today. I do have an animation what I'm going to do. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if everything you want to add or comment in the section below. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.